I really don't feel like I really don't feel like want to show up my face. I don't want to put up my face on the camera, so I'll just leave it at that. And walking around the house, I'm in the room, my room, and speak randomly. Okay, let me see. I will read through this book to see if I can talk about something. Where is that living in Saigon book? Where is that one? Okay, okay. So living in Saigon. This book written by a friend of mine. This book written by a friend of mine, and his name is Jesse Peterson. And here, okay, just. Oh, Jesse read this. Saigon never thought about it like that. Living in Saigon, foreigner feeds a rocker. Why would anyone move to Vietnam? That's the question. That question hums beneath every story in this collection, not in bewilderment, but in a kind of curious reverence, as if each author is listening for an echo that might explain their own arrival. Living in Saigon is not a how-to guide, nor a drive along this guy in memo clothing, nor a TED talk masquerading as confession. It is instead a book written by 7 souls who, for one reason or another, decided that Vietnam should decided that Vietnam would not be a temporary layover between lives, but something more enduring, a home, or at least a long-term tryst with chaos, beauty, and bewilderment. There are no moral hammer into this reader's skull, no moral lesson disguised as eyesight. Rather, the book feels like what happened when you pull up a stool beside a stranger at a street corner bar. The smell of grilled pork, cheap beer, and exhaust in the air, and exhaust in the air, and someone leaned toward you with a lean in their eye and say, "Wanna hear a story?" And then the 7 of them in turn do exactly that. Details are personal and peculiar, by turn reflective, unglorious, uproariously funny, and occasionally violent. Something like crossing the street in District 1, Ho Chi Minh City, where life and death seem to share the same crosswalk. Take Chelsea for instance, an American MMA champion standing beneath the white-hot lights of a Saigon ring. Her Vietnamese opponent sat across her, the crowd, a crimson tide of patriotism shouting itself hoarse for their hometown hero. Patriotism here is never subtle. It's wear a red t-shirt, sweat tiger beer, and scream until its throat is raw. The bell rings, the fighters move, and the Vietnamese woman stumbles a lead, but smile bravely at the audience as hell, believe like incense smoke, because here energy is currency, and when you pour all of your into someone you love, they might just pull off a miracle, or at least a land that lie hook that earn redemption. But Chelsea, calm as a blade, clocked in a chokehold, the crowd gasps, silent digging like humidity before rain. The hometown, the the home the hometown fighters slump, the noise evaporate, and one man, half drunk and half heartbroken, starts to clap before thinking better of it. The referent hesitates, blood slim under the lights, and the audience watches their hero collapse like a paper lantern in the monsoon. Chelsea tells me this happens every time she wins. The room, the room dies, no cheers, no high fives, and only a long embarrassed silence, as if she had burped during a wedding toast. And I can't help but wonder if anyone in the crowd ever imagined what it feels like from her side, far from home, fighting along, victorious in front of people who would rather see her lose. Australian writer Damien Willis once told me a story that, in its way, mirrored Chelsea's. True, its arena is not a ring under blue fluorescent glare, but a pickleball court simmering under the indolent sun of Saigon afternoon. Pickleball, for the uninitiated, is what happens when tennis and ping pong have giants. It's what happened when tennis and ping pong have died during a midlife crisis, and they raised it in the humidity of Southeast Asia. The story, as Damien tells us, belonged to his brother Nathan Willis, one of the Vietnamese top three pickleball players. Do such rankings tend to fluctuate with the wind or with the price of banh mi during a typhoon? Nathan, tall and broad-shouldered, built like a backyard barbecue carved from brick, rarely receives the warmth of the home crowd. When he plays, he is not the foreigner friend. He is the villain, the reluctant heel in a sporting morality play that no one admits it, even a real sport. I was there once. On a day so hot, the air itself seems to sweet. Blah blah blah. Oh, whatever. Okay, let's play a song. There you go. Well, since my brother, I should talk about, maybe I should talk about writing. Recently, I don't write much. For, mostly my time in the day, during the day, it gets occupied by doing some other work that I don't actually care. But I already talked about it too many times, so I will not talk about it again today. So let's just talk about something else, and maybe about him. I guess him, the guy I kind of meet. You know, the guy I talk about, the guy I told you guy about in other video. And well, I guess recently I don't talk to him very much, and it's not because I get bored of him or anything like that. I actually, my feeling is still the same, but it's more like a river flow that still it doesn't, it didn't show too much, it didn't have waves or something like that. And I think the other part is that well, because in the day I have the since during the day I have to working like Shopee and blah blah blah, and then during the night time I translating and working something like reading and you write something. What the hell I'm talking about? Every time just feel like this. Talking but not really talking, because my English when it comes to speaking is terrible. It's so fucking terrible that I even hate myself every time I'm talking. I'm speaking. Blah blah. Um, well, my voice sounds so bad in this video, and when I don't see my face, it's getting worse. It actually sounds worse. That, but I think mostly because it's my voice, so I think it's terrible. But someone who heard it maybe not sound so terrible, or probably they just think it sounds so sore.